Welcome back everyone, it's Eric from Rare Candy, and here today we have another entry into our testing round series, continuing a look at some more Rebel Clash decks. So here in this video we have the new Cinderace VMAX and the new Vikavolt, both from Rebel Clash. We have a 3-prizer facing off against a 1-prizer. We'll have to see how this is going to pan out. And here in this video we have the help of fellow PokeTuber and actually one of our patrons as well, gyrosean. He's going to be playing the Cinderace VMAX deck over there on the left, and I'm going to be playing the new Vikavolt deck over there on the right. Very appropriate since I am playing the Rare Candy base deck here in this video. And just a quick shout out to Sean too. He's really been a big help, you know, kind of during these chaotic times with the virus and everything, kind of making it hard to get out and meet up with people to record games. He's been doing a great job at helping me, you know, record these games remotely. That way we can still have this series that, you know, is among, you know, usually one of the favorites of the community of people who watch this channel. So big shout out to Sean for helping me put this video together. So it did look like Sean was going to take a mulligan, you know, not any basics in his opening hand, which is definitely a little bit unfortunate. The Cinderace VMAX deck, I think it plays something like 11 basics, so a little bit unusual. But here it is going to get a Cinderace V to start with. Definitely not a bad starter. Has that ability, if there's a stadium card in play, it can retreat for free, so that's definitely nice. And it looks like I must have won the coin flip since Sean is going first. Normally with a Welder based deck, you would want to be going second. So here he's just going to start things off with an Acrobike. Discarding that Great Catcher. You know, not a card that's too great in this matchup, no pun intended. But here he's going to get down a Fire Energy and probably just pass. So he has the Welder ready to go for next turn. And here I'm going to get down 2 Grubbin of my own. Going to get down an Ranger with an attachment of a new energy. It's going to be Capture Energy that I'm getting down. It's a special energy card, and whenever you attach it to one of your Pokemon, you search your deck for a basic and put it onto your bench. So here I'm going to grab myself another Jirachi just in case this active one does go down. Now, typically you would think I would want to attach my energies to my Grubbins, that way Vikavolt can attack, but the reason I'm going this route is because in this Vikavolt deck, it does more damage for the amount of energy in total you have in play. And I'm actually using the Charjabug from Unbroken Bonds to attack with Vikavolt. That way I can keep my normal energies safely on my bench. That way they never get eliminated from play whenever one of my Pokemon gets knocked out. So here it looks like I went with a Marnie. That's sort of my ideal turn 1 here. You know, I'm getting plenty of basics into play. I have a manual attachment. Gonna hit Sean with a Marnie, making it harder for him to get off that Welder play that he wants to do. And here it looks like I'm going for Primate Wisdom, replacing the top card of my deck with a card in my hand. And here I'm going to play an Evolution Incense, going for a Vikavolt. So I think I remember this. Normally you wouldn't want to play an Evolution Incense prematurely like this. You'd usually want to wait till the turn you want to play it. But I must have put a card I didn't really want back on top of my deck. So by playing the Evolution Incense, not only do I get Vikavolt out of my deck, but I also rearrange my top deck to ensure I don't draw into that card I don't want to see. So here, going over to Sean's turn, he does have a Jirachi, a Skateboard, going to get down another manual attachment appears, and going for a Dedenne GX, allowing him to discard his hand and draw 6 here. So definitely not a bad Marty for him. He did not have, or he still does not have a Welder just yet, which is definitely the big thing he's going to be looking for. So let's see. He is going for a Quick Ball. You know, he does have an Acrobike in his hand, so he's just trying to thin out his deck a little bit more before he goes for that Acrobike. He just wants to give himself, you know, the most amount of outs possible to finding a Welder. So let's see what he's going to be grabbing here. We might see another Cinderace V. I think that's an option. We might even see another Jirachi. I really don't mind the other Jirachi, to be honest, but here looks like he might be going for a baby Volcanion. But not a big fan of that. I think if I'm in Sean's position, I think I'm grabbing Cinderace, or maybe I'm grabbing another Jirachi. Let's see what he's going to do from here. You know, if nothing else, he can always just pitch away this Volcanion at some point if he doesn't want it. So here he is going to go for the Acrobike. And unfortunately, he does whiff. And that's actually kind of a rough Acrobike. He has to get rid of a Giant Hearth or a Skateboard. So here, now that he has the Giant Hearth in play, he will be able to retreat for free, and now he can use that Stellar Wish ability on Jirachi. Now, before he does that, I think he does want to use Giant Hearth, so yeah, good call from him. That will allow him to discard a card from hand, search his deck for 2 fire energy. So Sean's, you know, thinning very appropriately. Again, I don't know if I agree with the choice to grab the Volcanion instead of a Jirachi or a Cinderace, but nevertheless, in terms of thinning, Sean's doing the right things here. He's getting his sequencing generally, you know, pretty correct. So here he's going to find himself a Pokemon Communication. And let's see what route he's going to go from there. You know, this is an instance I kind of want to see him go for a Jirachi or, or I was going to say, or wait for a Dedenne GX. So, but here's going for the Cinderace. So maybe he's saying, you know what, you're a stage 2 deck. I don't think you can get the knockout next turn. Like, your deck's pretty slow, inconsistent sometimes. You know, I think I have decent odds of this Jirachi kind of making it through the next turn. And so here looks like Sean's probably just going to pass from there, I would imagine. Oh, and here I did forget to flip for sleep, so just doing that real quick. So here I am going to go for the Rare Candy Vikavolt, since we did see I got that at the end of my turn on the previous turns. Here I am going to go for a Stellar Wish. It looks like I have a Marnie in those 5 cards there. Beyond that, I don't know exactly what I have access to. Looks like a Switch is there as well. I think that could be an option. So I think I do remember this. I was thinking, you know what? Like, you didn't get Welder, so I could just go for Switch and switch into another Jirachi if I want to. That seems like kind of okay. And try to hit like a Cynthia or something. But if I do that, I still need to find an additional switching card still. Okay, yeah, I think I do remember. I have a Twin Energy in hand. I was thinking I actually could just get a knockout with a Rengar here and save my Vikavolt, but if I do that, I'm going to lose 3 energies, which is basically a minus 60 for my Vikavolt on future turns. Since the Vikavolt, it does 60 plus 20 more for every energy that I have in play. So here I am going to get down energy on Jirachi on the bench. Going to keep it over there. So again, I'm trying to use my Charjabugs for my Vikavolts and use my normal energies to just kind of keep on other Pokemon just to make sure that they always kind of remain in play even when Vikavolts get knocked out. Because I can always get back the Charjabugs throughout the course of a game. I play Lure Ball, I play Ordinary Rod. So I have ways of getting those back. I don't have ways of getting back the special energies that I'm running. So here it looks like I'm going for Primate Wisdom. I'm going to put that Pokemon Communication back on top of my deck. That way I can draw back into it with Marnie to potentially find something else next turn if I need to. Or, you know, not my next turn, but after I draw these cards here. So I might need to go for a Dedenne GX if I do want to take a knockout, or if I draw into a Vikavolt, it might allow, or a Rare Candy might allow me to grab another Vikavolt. We'll have to see what route I'm going to go here, though. So here I do find myself a Charjabug, it appears. And, okay, and looks like I'm quick balling away a Lure Ball, so I'm going for a Dedenne GX. It definitely feels a little bit unfortunate to have to discard a Lure Ball. That's definitely like a key resource in this deck. That's going to be one of the main things that allows you to get back your Charjabugs. But the reason I'm digging so aggressively here to take a knockout on just a 1-prize Jirachi is because I played that Marnie, so I want to still take away the option of potentially finding a Welder. And also, too, if I knock out this Jirachi, that kind of ensures that Sean can never safely attack into me with a 2-prizer, because that will allow me to take all 6 prizes in a very neat fashion. So this forces him to need 2 Cinderace VMAXs in order to, you know, force me into like a 7-8 prize game. So let's see. It looks like I did actually put Sean into a Welder here. Definitely a bit unfortunate. So no doubt he's going to want to use that. He is going to use Giant Hearth, thinning some fire energies out of his deck, getting rid of that Tool Scrapper. You know, I'm sure he would have liked to have removed my skateboard, but he's just thinking, you know what, there's other stuff I really need to see this turn. You can have your skateboard, it's fine. And so he does have an Acrobike as well. You know, I think the big thing, he's probably looking for a Pokemon to Welder to. But here he just hits 2 Malilanos off the Acrobike. Easy discard decision, that's for sure. But I'd imagine we'll see 1 for the Welder. Yes, that definitely seems the right move. Welder, of course, if you guys aren't familiar, you attach up to 2 fire energies from hand to one of your Pokemon, draw 3 cards. So now if he gets down another Pokemon, he can still attach for turn to a different one instead of having 4 energy on the Cinderace VMAX. So I definitely want to see another Cinderace V come down. Just because, like I said, if he gets out a 2 prizer, that is going to allow me to kind of take all 6 of my prizes in a very neat fashion. You know, this Vikavolt deck, I actually think it does a really good job at hitting sort of like the 200 range sort of damage output here. I think hitting up to 280 is actually pretty easy for the Vikavolt deck. It's getting over that 270, 280 range and hitting above that. So forcing me to deal with 2 VMAXs in 1 hit is actually something that might be a bit of a challenge. But here, because he's going for the Heatran GX, I think he actually might have prized his other 2 Cinderace V this game, which is definitely a bit of a bummer. So he definitely wants to start fishing those out of the deck as soon as possible. So here he is going to take a knockout on my Vikavolt using the second attack on Cinderace VMAX for 2 fire and a colorist, does 170 and burn. But here I have another Vikavolt ready to go, and I'm going to be playing Lure Ball, so that's 2 tails and 3 tails with Lure Ball. That's actually really kind of crushing because I have 2 Electro Powers in hand, and my thought process was like, if I just hit 1 of these Lure Ball heads, I'm going all in. We're going to try to knock out this Cinderace VMAX. And without hitting 1 heads, I'm actually electing not to play the Electro Powers because I'm actually not confident I can hit the numbers I need to take a 1-hit knockout. You know, just having this Cynthia plus Darwish, I don't know if that's enough to get me into what I need. So here I'm opting to actually save my resources for a future turn where I can take a 1-shot. And funny enough, though, I didn't get a good look at what's in my hand, but I'm pretty sure this is the game where I had the 2 E-Powers that I shuffled back in thinking I wouldn't be able to hit what I needed, but after I played the Cynthia and my Stellar Wish, I actually was only 10 damage shy of getting the knockout. I think I got pretty lucky off of my Supporter and Stellar Wish here. I do find myself another Grubbin as well. So here I'm going to get down a Twin Energy, it looks like on that Jirachi, or contemplating, but here for the moment I'm going to play Lure Ball, getting 2 heads, so I am going to be able to get back 2 of my Charjabugs here. Now the question is, do I actually attack with Vikavolt? That's something that I was kind of struggling with to figure out in this matchup, just because this Vikavolt list actually doesn't play any gusting right now. This Vikavolt deck, much like the old one from Unbroken Bonds, also played no gusting options, just because this deck requires so many different consistency cards to get the core strategy to function. There's very little fluff in this list at all. So if I attack into this Cinderace and don't knock it out, I actually can't even gust it back up. So that is definitely an issue. But on the plus side, you know, I saw that Sean didn't go for another Cinderace, so that kind of signaled to me he did prize some Cinderace Vs. And I actually kind of don't mind maybe damaging this Cinderace VMAX, because he actually might be forced to attack with it again if he did not successfully draw a Cinderace off of his prize. I mean, he did, but I technically don't know that. So here I'm just contemplating, you know, do I want to sacrifice something this turn? But here I'm going to go for another Stellar Wish. And I see an Evolution Incense. So if I'm promoting this Jirachi with the Twin Energy, that leads me to believe I have a switch in hand. So let's see. Looks like I'm a bit conflicted as to what I want to get. You know, I did see the Evolution Instance. That's the only thing I can make out. Not sure what else I might be looking for. Maybe a rare candy for next turn. But here it looks like I'm electing the Ordinary Rod. So that tells me I'm probably going to be attacking with the Vikavolt if I am going to go that route here. because after this Vikavolt gets knocked out, I'm going to need to be able to shuffle it back into my deck. So here I'm going to go for the switch. And I must have two, yeah, I have the two Charjabugs that I got off the lure ball. And I'm going to be able to hit into this thing for a good bit. I'm also going to get down this twin energy on Jirachi. And like I said, I do remember being literally just like 10 damage shy of being able to get a knockout this turn based on the cards I had available to me. Like if I would have just played the E-Powers, I would have been able to take the knockout. But I think based on... I feel like I still played this turn correctly, but I just got very lucky off of my draws from the Cynthia and Stellar Wish, allowing me to have taken a knockout. Whereas, like I said, I think on an average turn, I wouldn't have been able to. So I'm just attacking into this Cinderace for 240. And unfortunately, I do see now that Sean does have the other Cinderace V he got off the prizes. So more than likely, I'm not going to be able to attack back into this Cinderace for the rest of the game, which is definitely a bit of a bummer. So here, it looks like he is going to play a Mallow and Lana as well. Going for the full effect here, discarding 2 cards from his hand, so he is going to be able to switch and heal 120 in the process, making it a little tougher on me if I do want to try to heal this, or not heal this, but attack into this Cinderace later. This also sets it up for him if he plays something like Eldegoss V to get back Malana. He can actually completely heal this Cinderace too, and force me into attacking into a freshly powered up one again. But here for the moment, he is going to attack with Heatran GX this turn, probably opting for the GX attack. It's 50 times the amount of energy on Heatran, so that's nice at knocking out this Vikavolt. Now, the one thing I'm actually happy about, though, is that knocking out 2 prize Pokemon with Vikavolt is actually very, very easy. The only thing I need to find is Rare Candy Vikavolt, plus the energy needed to pull off the combo. So it looks like he is going to thin some more energy out of his deck here. So I actually kind of wish he might have held on to the Ninetales. I actually think there's a world where he could have attacked with Heatran, then Ninetales, then a Cinderace VMAX. That actually might have been a little bit better, you know, forcing me into that 8 prize game. So let's see if he's going to do anything else. Imagine we'll just see that GX attack. Yeah, so he is going to use that GX attack, knocking out my Vikavolt. So I'm going to promote this Jirachi. And so the big thing I'm going to need is Rare Candy Vikavolt. You know, if I can just get off an attack, knocking out Heatran is super easy. Only has 190 HP, which is not an issue for Vikavolt at all. Its second attack, I haven't even pointed out, it's a Lightning 3 colorless is 170, and you take 30 damage. So here I'm going to play an Electric Power just to thin out of deck a little bit here. So that will increase my odds of being able to get a knockout with this Vikavolt. So right now in play, I have, what, 80, I have 100 damage sitting on my board right now. So I need, 130 factoring in the Electric Power, plus the 60 base damage. So yeah, I should be able to knock out this Heatran easily as long as I can find myself the Candy Vikavolt and like a Charjabug or something like that. Oh, but here I do remember what happened. We didn't catch this at the time, guys, but Sean actually played 2 supporters last turn. I forgot to commentate about that here. So we did catch this in the middle of my turn here, and Sean's kind of reversing this to restore the game state. So yeah, this, luckily I don't think it wound up being a big deal. The only thing that, as you guys can see, I think Sean messed up on here is he did put Quick Ball that he got off of his prizes back into his deck. He thought he had drawn that off the Welder, but he actually drew off the prizes. So that's one of the only things I could see kind of affecting how this might go. But I mean, nevertheless, like, Sean's hand's still pretty good. And I don't remember if this damaged Cinderace V was able, I don't know if he got an energy off of the Welder or, oh no, because he had energy in hand no matter what. So yeah, I was just thinking about for his manual attachment he got down last turn, if that was one of the cards he drew, but no, he Giant Hearts for that. So yeah, we fixed that, the game state, but pretty decently there. I do apologize about that one, guys. I think, like I said, the only thing that should have been changed is the Quick Ball got shuffled into his deck, and technically Jirachi would have been his top deck. I think I would have rather just seen him replace the top cards of his deck instead of shuffling like that. But anyways, Continuing on, I think the game state got restored, pretty well though. So you're just going to retreat into Deandre. So unfortunately, guys, I did whiff what I needed for the attack this turn. And I think that's huge. Like, honestly, guys, I mean, I'm not out of the game, but I think it's just such a huge whiff. I just don't know if I can afford to... I don't think I can afford to whiff another knockout yet again. And like I said, it's very unfortunate too, because all I really need to do is just find like the candy Vikavolt and get it powered up. Because the Heatran actually gets knocked out so easily. Like I said, the Vikavolt deck, I think easily can hit in the 200-ish, 270, 280 range. Just getting over that is really the only challenging part I've found with this deck. But here, Sean's finally going to Welder. Now he's formally allowed to. Just going to start powering up this other Cinderace VMAX. So yeah, now I definitely regret attacking with the Vikavolt. But at the time, like I said, it was kind of apparent he had prized his other Cinderace Vs. So I think it still made sense on paper. But, I mean, there is still a world where I win this. So Sean knocks out this Deandre GX. Next turn, and he goes down to 2 prizes. Turn after that, I knock out Cinderace VMAX, going down to 2 prizes. And then he goes down to 1 prize, and I knock out his VMAX on my last turn to win. So I'm still in this, guys. But I'm definitely letting this game kind of slip away. I had such a great start. And it's kind of fizzling out in the mid game here a little bit. So here it looks like Sean's going to play himself a Fire Crystal, getting 3 Fire Energies back into his hand. Oh, actually going for double Fire Crystal. I guess maybe trying to give himself some Giant Hearth options if he gets Marnied or something like that. I'm really not sure. I can get down with the 1 Fire Crystal, but I don't like the second one being played. So here he is going to knock out the Deandre. I'm going to promote this Jirachi, and here is my time to shine. So I do get Rare Candy Vikavolt. Here we go. Playing down Electro Power. Getting down, looks like another Skateboard. Going for a Cynthia. So right now on play, based on all the energy that's on there, looks like 80, 100, or no, that's 100, 140, 160... I'm hitting for 230 right now, so I need to climb up a little bit more if I want to knock this thing out. Unfortunately, I did have to get rid of that lure ball very early on and got that double tails on that other one, so I'm down a few lure balls at this point. I definitely need some more Charjabugs and or Electro Powers to take this knockout. I do see at least 1 Evolution Incense. I do have myself a Jirachi to use as well. And here it looks like I'm just kind of double checking my math, and here I do have another Charjabug. Okay, I have energy, I have Evolution Incense as well. Like, we are, we're cooking over here, guys. So now you can see, really starting to get this deck powered up, getting down a Capture Energy down Grubbin. I don't even know if there's another card I want to get down. I might think about getting down Jirachi. Maybe just a thin out of deck. I think that's one of the only things I would really consider. I think just thinning my deck as much as possible is what I need to do. I just need to make sure on my next turn I can get that final knockout. So I need to make sure my deck is absolutely as thin as possible. So yeah, we're definitely getting the knockout on the Cinderace VMAX. Right now I'm hitting for 140, 180, 220, 260, yeah, 320 right now. So we are one-shotting a clean Cinderace VMAX with the Vikavolt. So this is how your turns are supposed to look. So here, gonna go for the one-shot. It's exactly enough damage, guys. And gonna grab myself 3 prizes. Suddenly hopping back into this game after a couple stumbles there in the mid-game. No, I'm back in it. All I really need next turn is to find my Candy Vikavolt combo and be able to attack, because I'm starting to get to the point where I have plenty of energy in play. I don't even really need to find many Charjabugs. I just need to probably find 1, maybe 2, and that will be enough to carry me. So let's see what Sean's going to do. I imagine we are going to see just a knockout with the Cinderace VMAX. And, Sean's hand is huge here. Now, one thing that actually would be problematic is if he went for a second Mallow and Lana on this Cinderace VMAX and healed it completely. So here, I guess maybe he's just kind of, we're talking about, you know, what his plan of action is. I'm not really sure. And looks like he's calculating something. I'm not sure what, though, off the top of my head. Maybe he's counting fire energy. Like, maybe he's checking to see if he has... like, energy in deck to use Giant Hearth or something? I don't know. But here he's going to bump the Giant Hearth with a Heat Factory Prism Star. It's definitely going to be a better supporter form at this point. Gets to discard a fire from hand and draw 3. And he does get the Eldegoss V. That's actually pretty big because now he can play that Eldegoss V. That's going to be another new card from Rebel Clash. Will allow him to get a supporter from discard pile put into his hands. That will allow him to get the Mallow and Lana, completely healing this Cinderace VMAX. He will have healed 240 from this throughout the course of the game here. And from there, he can actually just retreat right back into it and, you know, take a knockout. So that's definitely going to make my last turn significantly more challenging. And so he's just going to discard 2 Jirachi, saying, you know what, my bench is full. You know, there's no reason to ever use these again. But here's going to get down the Dedenne, or retreat into Dedenne. I don't think that's the right play. I definitely think he should have just retreated into the Cinderace V because it has the ability that allows it to retreat for free if there's a stadium in play. I'm not sure if he's just overlooking that or what's going on here, but no point in playing the switch if he doesn't have to, you know? And looks like we're discussing something here. And he is going to play the switch. So yeah, he actually didn't have to do that. He had the Cinderace V in play, but... because now he's actually in a situation where if I can pull off a Tingly Return GX next turn with the Dedenne, then this Cinderace might be stuck by not having that other switch. So that's something that he might get punished for. I think that was definitely an oversight on Sean's part. Here he is going to take out a knockout in this Vikavolt, and here all I need to do is find my Rare Candy Vikavolt combo, and I'm actually going to have game with the Vikavolt deck. So let's see here. Looks like I'm debating promoting the Jirachi without a skateboard. That tells me I must have Switch in hand if that's the case. I mean, either way, I think I actually probably should just promote a Jirachi within a skateboard. That would have given myself more flexibility. I would need a Switch anyways to use multiple Jirachi, so I may as well give myself the flexibility of having like a skateboards. Here I'm going to go for Stellar Wish. And here I do find myself Rare Candy. Now, the next thing I need to figure out... Okay, and I do have Evolution Incense, so I do have the Candy Vikavolt. Can I get a knockout? So I have the Rare Candy. So right now in play, just try to do the math on damage. This Vikavolt, if nothing else, is hitting for... looks like 80, 100, 40, 180. So I definitely still need a good bit. I need to find myself some Charjabugs here. And here looks like I'm just starting to check how much damage I'm doing. I definitely want to find myself another Twin Energy. That's the other thing I really want. So here it looks like I'm debating Pokemon Communication. I mean, if I still have Charjabugs in deck, I definitely think that's what I do. I Communication to Dedenne. Okay, it looks like I'm putting Jirachi back in deck. Interesting. Okay, going straight for Charjabug. Alrighty, so we're starting to creep up there for damage output. And so I do have the switch, so no doubt I'm going to switch into another Jirachi here. I think I put the Dedenne on top of my deck to draw into it after this morning. So I'm going to get 5. Sean's going to get 4 here. And I'm definitely going to need some damage modifiers here. Let's see what I can get. Unfortunately, that is not a damage modifier. So that is definitely a bit rough here. So here I have the Dedenne GX. Yeah, and I whiffed what I needed to... Wait, I'm really confused here. I can still Dede change. I don't know what I'm thinking here, guys, but I can definitely Dede change, just draw through my deck. I guess maybe I thought I already Dede changed, like Dede changed or something. I don't know. And here Sean's just showing me he has the switch to be able to have the game. Like I said, he could just switch into his Cinderace V, retreat for free. But yeah, I have no idea what I was thinking there, guys. I could have easily attached that Twin Energy to something else, gone for the Dede change, hit what I needed to win the game, because literally my Vikavolt was hitting for, let's see, right now on my side of the field, 80, 120, 140, 180, 220. So that would have been 260 with the Twin Energy in hand. And if I would just Dede changed into my damage modifiers, that would have been the game. So or maybe I'm out of damage modifiers if that's the case. So I'm just trying to think why I wouldn't Dede change here. So I might have been out of Charjabugs or Electro Powers. Maybe I was actually going to be a little bit short. And so I had to go for the Tingly Return GX to try to paralyze Sean there. So maybe that's what happened, guys. I forget at this point. But I would imagine if I had what I needed in deck, I would have just tossed my hand, drawn what I needed to win, and that would have been the game. So either way, Cinderace VMAX is going to win game one. You know, the Vikavolt deck started out really strong. Things kind of went south closer to the mid game, but this is a best 2 out of 3 series. We're going to try this again, see what we can make happen. Yet again, Sean taking another mulligan, definitely getting a little bit unlucky there. Hopefully he doesn't take too many of those. He definitely doesn't want to give my deck, which is definitely, you know, a slower, more setup-based deck. A lot of extra cards to play with on the first turn here. So we'll have to see what is ultimately going to happen here. And while we're getting set up, guys, just want to give a quick shout out to Sean. He's also repping that super awesome Candy Crew playmat over there on the left. If you guys want to learn about how to get some exclusive merch from us, also support this channel in other ways, and get some cool content in the process, I'll have a link down below to our Patreon if you want to check that out and learn about how to support this channel a little bit. So looks like I am going to get a grubbin start here. Oh, and Sean's actually taking another mulligan. So definitely not what he likes to see. No doubt I'm going to opt to go second again this game, just because these Welder-based decks typically have very uneventful turn ones if they can't play Welder. So I definitely want to go for a similar play that I did in game one, where I forced Sean to go first, prevent him from playing support, then marty him into a low hand size. That's ideally what we're going to try to do. Alright, so Sean to start with, a Cinderace V. Definitely not a bad starter if he's not going to start with Jirachi. And I do bench the Grubbin that I drew off of my mulligan, it appears. So it looks like Sean drew into a Jirachi here. Just have that giant heart, that's definitely nice. That will allow him to retreat for free and also get some energy in the process. So here he's going to discard that fire, get 2 more fires. That will increase his odds of drawing into a Welder off of the Stellar Wish that he's inevitably going to do. So let's take a look at his hand just a second. Not sure if there's anything else he wants to play, but I think the big thing is he's just going to be looking for a Welder this turn, so we'll have to see if he can find that off of the Stellar Wish. Now, the downside is if he finds himself a Welder off Stellar Wish, does he actually go for it? Because he saw me go for the turn 1 Marnie. I play 4 Marnie in the Vikavolt deck, so there is like a consideration to not even taking it. And he does have an Acrobike as well, so we are going to see that. Okay, so he has a Quick Ball and the Baby Volcanion. I think I do want to see him discard the Baby Volcanion here. So it looks like he's a little bit conflicted. The reason for that is he doesn't have a Dedenne in hand, and I really want Sean to have access to the Dedenne, but here you can see he's a little bit conflicted. Again, you know, since he's going first, I don't think Volcanion is that good in this game. So, yeah, he is going to discard that. I think that's the correct play here. You know, if he was going second, Volcanion's actually a really good card with that Flare Starter attack. But since that's not the case, card's not quite as strong in this game. So we're going to see. Looks like Sean go for a Quick Ball just to thin another card out of deck. So unlike last game, I think he's actually safe to not go for a another Jirachi, just because I can't really, well, not very reliably get off a first turn attack. Like the only way this active Jirachi would go down is if I had like Thunder Mountain, the Dene, like Energy E-Power. I just don't see that happening. So here he's going to go for another Cinderace feat. Definitely nice. You know, he doesn't have all of his Cinderace's prized this game. So definitely good for Sean here. And looks like he's going to go for a Stellar Wish. Okay, he does have himself an Escape Board. Okay. So honestly, like, this really isn't even like a bad turn for him. As long as he gets himself down a Manual Attachment, you know, I think he's going to be okay. He needs to find himself either a Welder or a Quick Ball for next turn, or like a Pokemon Communication, and he's going to be in a good spot. So he's just going to pass. I think he had a perfectly fine turn 1. So let's see. I have Rare Candy in hand. I have a couple of energies. So like I have a Twin Energy. I'm debating getting down. Twin Energy in particular is a funny card. Like, you don't mind it on Vikavolt because it helps, you know, power up its attack cost, but at the same time, you don't want your energies on your Vikavolt, just because whenever you lose your Vikavolt, you lose your special energies and your Charjabug. So I try to keep my special energies on my like bench sitting Pokemon. So here it looks like I'm going to go for a Quick Ball, it appears. Looks like I'm very conflicted as to what I want to get rid of. Looks like I'm eyeing down Lure Ball to discard. That feels kind of bad. You know, Lure Ball is going to be so important at getting back those Charjabugs to take one-shots. But it's one of those things I do need more Pokemon in play. So I think getting rid of Evolution Incense isn't awful as well. So here I am going to commit to the Lure Ball. Definitely a rough situation. So if I'm getting rid of the Lure Ball, that tells me I probably have Rare Candy in hand. Like, if I'm not getting rid of Evolution Incense, I think getting rid of, like, that must mean I have what I need to get Candy Vikavolt next turn. I think that'd be the only reason I would not be getting rid of it. So from there, might just see Twin Energy come down, Jirachi. Yeah, I definitely like that. And from there, probably a pass. Now, I could have actually used the attack on the Grubbin to search out 2 Lightning Pokemon, but the issue with that is that would require this Twin Energy to go down on it, and once this Grubbin inevitably gets knocked out on this turn, that's like a -40 from my board. I want to keep all of my special energies in play throughout the course of a game. That way I'm gradually sort of growing my damage output, even while my Vikavolts and other Pokemon are getting knocked out. So here, Sean's going to discard Fire Energy, getting 2 more Fire Energies out of the discard pile. Thinning some cards out of deck. No doubt he wants to find himself a Welder and start putting on some pressure of his own here. And he's going to go for Stellar Wish. We see Giant Hearth, Fire Crystal, Acrobike, Boss's Orders. But it looks like he might just be going for Acrobike. That's fine. Honestly, as long as he gets a Cinderace VMAX, an Energy, and a Switch, you can take a knockout. He actually technically doesn't even need Welder, just because the base damage output on the Cinderace VMAX's first attack does 30, and Grubbin's weak to fire with only 60 HP. So, but he does hit the Welder either way, so ends up kind of working out. It's going to Welder. I think I want to see him put all of that energy on the, yeah, right there on that one. I think that's definitely the play here. He only needs 2 energy to take a knockout. So if I do have some insane turn 2 and knock out his VMAX, he doesn't want to lose an extra energy for no reason here. So he does have the Cinderace VMAX. We know he has the Escape Board in hand as well. We do see a Quick Ball in there too. So I mean, we could even see him go for a Dead Eye change. Or like, I honestly don't even hate him holding on to this hand since he has the Eldegoss V. He can always get that Welder back for next turn. And here he's going to attach return to that other Cinderace V. So yeah, I think I actually kind of want to see him just hang on to this hand here. So we're going to see a retreat, and then just take a knockout in the Scrubbin with the first attack. I believe the name is Counter. So here I'm going to promote this Jirachi. I'm pretty sure I have a skateboard in hand as well, so I will be able to retreat this thing, get it out of harm's way. So here I'm going to go for Evolution Incense, going for Vikavolt. So yeah, like I said, guys, if I was getting rid of the Lure Ball, the reason was probably I had the Candy Vikavolt combo ready to go there. So this turn, you know, what do I want to do? Do I want to attack into this thing? You know, I think I only want to if I'm able to take a knockout, but I'm not sure if I can this early in the game. I don't have enough special energy kind of, you know, on my board yet at this point. So I'm going to find myself a Marnie off of the Star Wish. Probably going to play that if I had to guess. But I definitely want to find myself, I think, another Jirachi to retreat into to eventually end my turn with, and get down another Grubbin. So I'm going to get down a Charjabug. So I think that's actually a little bit risky here. That kind of, you know, if Sean's able to find Boss's Orders and knock out this Vikavolt, that's actually a really big KO. So here I do have Capture Energy. I actually could attack with the Vikavolt this turn. I think that is an option. But if I'm attaching to the Ranger, that makes me think I'm not going to. So here, probably just going to find myself another Grubbin, maybe even another Jirachi. Hard to say. I need to find both. That's kind of the issue, though. So here I'm going to go for another Jirachi, it appears. Because ultimately, I want to end my turn. I think I can see where I'm going with this. I want to end my turn with another Jirachi with no energy or a skateboard on it in play. And by going for the Jirachi over the Grubbin, if I whiff the Grubbin, I can always retreat into this other Jirachi and find a way to get the Grubbin. Whereas if I go for the Grubbin first instead of the Jirachi, I don't have that same luxury. And here, it looks like we're discussing something. Really not sure exactly what. And so here I'm going to retreat into this other Jirachi. Going for Stellar Wish. Interesting. So this is definitely an interesting turn for me. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. It looks like I have a Switch, a Dedenne, and a Marnie in hand. So I must be thinking, do I go for this Dede change at all? But here looks like I'm going for an Evolution Incense that is going to allow me to get a Charjabug. So yeah, I think now more than ever, I actually might want to attack with this Vikavolt, if that's the case, because I think this thing is like a big Boss's Orders target, but I'm still not even sure if that's what I want to do here. You know, like we saw in that first game, guys, like attacking and not taking a knockout with this Vikavolt deck feels really bad. Like every time you play Rare Candy, you need to be taking prizes, and that's an issue that I'm kind of debating with. I don't really know what strategy I want to go with. Here I'm going to go for the Switch. Okay, so I'm committing to not attacking with the Vikavolt, so that's a big risk. If Sean whips the Boss's Orders to take a knockout, that's huge. Then this is going to pay off really well, I think. I'm setting myself up to be able to take a knockout on this next turn. And I did find myself a Grubbin in the process as well. That's definitely good. And just a pass from there. Alright, so it looks like Sean does have a Pokemon Communication. He's going to put back a Cinderace into his deck. Probably grab himself another VMAX. Now he does have Quick Ball, so he actually can go for Dede Change. So if I'm in Sean's position, I'm digging hard for Boss's Orders. That's the big card I'm really going to be looking for. So he's going to Quick Ball away that Jirachi as well. No doubt going for Dedenne GX. You know, he doesn't want to play any other cards this turn other than, or any other supporters, I should say, other than the Boss's Orders. Now we'll have to see if he does find himself a way to get Mallow and Lana, because that was like a reason I didn't want to attack into this thing, was in case of something like Mallow Lana. And he did get the boss's orders. That is definitely a bit unfortunate. So he's going to be able to bring up that Vikavolt, take a knockout, getting rid of 2 Charjabugs as well. So I think that might have been maybe a mistake going for the additional Charjabug like that. I think that just kind of made this Vikavolt a bigger target. So I think on my last turn, I think there's a consideration to be made to like not attacking with Vikavolt, but if I wasn't going to, I should not have gotten that much energy on it, I don't think. So you can see it's kind of a tough spot. You could see in the first game, I went for like a more aggressive route saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to make each of these rare candies count and get in some chip damage here. But in this game, I'm like, well, that didn't work out exactly like how I wanted. So I'm going to kind of lay back and keep these safe on the bench. And that's not really working out. Okay, so here it looks like I'm going to play Electro Power and a Cynthia. So right now I'm doing a decent amount of damage. So looks like there's 130 damage on board right now, factoring in the Electro Power. So I need Rare Candy Vikavolt. I need... what else do we need to get this turn? I'm trying to think. There's plenty of Charjabugs, E-Powers. So I see Rare Candy. And I do see Lure Ball as well. So here I'm going to go for a Stellar Wish before I decide on anything else. And it looks like I'm going for a Pokemon Communication. So I'm going to shuffle my deck back up for the moment. So I see I'm pretty sure I have the Rare Candy in hand. I have the Lure Ball, so I definitely want to start getting another Vikavolt set up here. So flipping for Lure Ball. Looks like I got 1 head, so you know, my Lure Ball flips haven't been the best. I've definitely been flipping below 50% in this series so far. So here, just debating what route I want to go. You know, do I have access to another Dedenne GX? That's the next thing I have to think about. And even if I do go for that, okay, so here I am going to go for the Ordinary Rod. Getting myself back looks like a Grubbin and a Charjabug. And here, okay, so I must be considering either a Grubbin or another Dedenne. Okay, so here I'm going all in. You know, even though my bench is full and I'm not going to have a Vikavolt for the next turn, it's fine because if I get the knockout here, I'm going to take 3 prizes. My Vikavolt gets knocked out. On my next turn, ideally, I try to dig for Thunder Mountain to go for a Tingly Return to buy myself a turn while I get another Grubbin in play. So I think even though I can't get down another Grubbin, this is fine as long as I get the knockout here. Let's see, I see a bunch of Twin Energies. If I'm not, I see Electro Power. I'm pretty sure I think I see a Lure Ball. So here I'm going to use Primate Wisdom, it looks like. Just debating what I want to put back in deck. Unfortunately, not what I want to see here. I don't know if I have a switch, but here I'm going to go for another Stellar Wish as well. And looks like an E-Power. So it looks like I might have whiffed this turn. Yeah, that's really big. I think that was definitely a turn I needed to make something happen. It looked like I was pretty... Oh, I know what it was. I was missing 1 Charjabug. If I had a Charjabug, I would have been able to attack, but I literally couldn't even get off my attack that turn, I don't think. That is definitely unfortunate, because I think I had the damage modifiers needed. I just didn't have the energy to get off the attack, which is kind of heartbreaking. You guys can see, like, man, I've had a couple of rough turns on some of these turns here with this deck in both games, like in the mid game. Like a lot of times my early game is strong, but then the mid game I've had a couple stumbles. So just hopefully I don't get knocked out. But here we see the Quick Ball, so that's going to allow Sean to go for Eldegoss V, getting boss's orders, knocking out another Vikavolt from play. So here, yeah, he's going for the Bossasaurus. He knows what he needs to do at this point. So of course, Bossasaurus 2, I didn't even mention it, but you guys probably have heard about it by now. It's a new card from Rebel Clash. Supporter allows you to switch your opponent's active with one of their bench Pokemon. So yeah, Sean's going to go for that. No doubt bringing up that Vikavolt. I think going for the Dedenne GX with the Twin Energy also could have been an option, but I think this is good just because, you know, I don't have any attackers for the following turn. Now, the thing I'm going to need to do this turn, I think, is go Marnie, Thunder Mountain, Tinkley, Return GX, and try to keep this VMAX stuck in the active for a turn. So here I found myself another Grubbin. That's definitely what I like to see. Gonna get myself a Twin Energy down on this Oranguru. And gonna go for a Marnie here. So, really looking for Thunder Mountain. That's gonna be the big thing. And I do find the Thunder Mountain. Okay, so I'm still not out of it, guys. It's still not looking good. Like, as long as... I feel like as long as I can make Sean whip the switching effect here, then I'm kind of okay. But unfortunately, we can see in his hand, he did get, I think it was a Mallow and Lana. So here, I'm going to go for the Tingley Return GX. That's the GX attack on Dedenne. 50 in Paralysis, return to Dedenne. All cards attached to it back to your hand. So here I'm just going to sacrifice this Jirachi. Oh, and that's so bad. So yeah, Sean actually has game here effectively because he can switch into Jirachi, clearing his Paralysis, bosses orders up to Dedenne, and then he has two different fully powered Cinderace VMAXs. So even though he doesn't win this turn, he effectively wins because he has game on board from there. So that's definitely a little bit heartbreaking. Like, he was closer, I think, than it looked based on prizes. But yeah, you can see both games there, the Vikavolt deck kind of stumbled a little bit there, whiffed on some very key turns, literally just by, I think, one card each. In game one, I whiffed the one damage modifier, and this one I whiffed the one Charjabug to take a big 3-prize knockout, so definitely unfortunate, but I think it's still fun to watch both these decks in action. And of course, if you guys are interested about the list for these, I will have those posted down in the description whenever the deck profiles for those go live on the channel. But definitely stay tuned to the channel, guys. We have plenty more Rebel Clash content coming up, including deck profiles for both of these. And if you did enjoy this content, feel free to like and subscribe as well, and consider supporting this channel by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/rarecandytcg, or by picking up some merch from our online store, rarecandytcg.com. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.